Hey guys, it's John from Physical Living, and in this video I'm going to give you 6 bodyweight exercises for your glutes. I'm going to move kind of quick because I've got videos and tutorials on a bunch of these already. I kind of just wanted to demonstrate them and give you a bird's eye view of some of my go-to exercises. I think with glutes especially, and this is true for a lot of strength and conditioning and hypertrophy training, but for glutes in particular, they really benefit. You get the best results when you train them in a variety of ways, bilaterally, unilaterally, different positions, different angles, different movement patterns. If you hit them from a lot of different angles, if you will, you're going to get the best results. And that's especially true for your glutes. So I'm going to give you 3 exercises on the floor, 3 standing exercises. I believe 3 of them are bilateral, although I may not have counted that right. I'm a really lousy personal trainer because I can't count right. So first exercise, and I'm really only going to spend half a minute on this at most, is your basic glute bridge. And I have a very detailed video on this, on how to do it and how to progress it. But you can do this basically a lying hip extension. For reps, you can do a single leg version. You can do an alternating marching version. There's a lot of ways to do it. And if you're getting into glute training, this is square one. This is where you want to begin. You want to work up to being able to do a set of 50 reps slowly, under control, with a decent pump, if you will, and it not kill you the next day. So once you can do that, move on to some other things. And you may, even if you're an advanced athlete or a fitness enthusiast, you may benefit from going back to your basic glute bridge for a lot of reasons. And I won't get into that right here. I'm trying to move quickly. So next exercise is clamshell. Maybe you've heard of it. Basically lie down on your side. You can either support your head with your elbow or with your hand, or relax your head and lay it on your arm. But you're going to, if your legs are in a straight line with your torso, you're going to bring them forward just a little bit, keeping your knees bent at a 90-degree angle, and you're just going to open your legs like a clamshell and then close them. And the key here is the mind to muscle connection. So you're trying to focus on contracting the outside of that upper glute. And so you're going to open it up, hold for a minute, pause for a moment, not a whole minute, literally, and lower, down under control. And I think the tempo, a slow and steady tempo, is much better for this exercise than doing it really fast like some people do. You're trying to really isolate and focus on the contraction of this section of your glutes. So that's your clamshell. There are ways to make clamshells harder too. Maybe I'll do a video on that someday. But once you've spent some time with your glute bridging and your clamshells, I'd highly recommend beginning some hip thrust exercises. And I have a very detailed tutorial on the hip thrust, the bodyweight hip thrust. So I'd encourage you to check that out. I'm just going to really demonstrate it for you in this video. But you basically have to find something to rest your shoulders on. You can use an exercise ball or a bench at the gym. If you're at home, you can use the edge of a bed or your couch. And basically you're just going to get set up, prop your shoulders up on it, maintain a good position so you're nice and stable, and you're going to extend your hips up and hip thrust. And you're doing that with a strong glute contraction. And there's a lot of ways to make this harder too. You can do a single leg version. You can put a weight in your lap like a barbell or a sandbag. And this is in my opinion, and there is some science to back this up, this is in my opinion the most effective targeted exercise for your glutes. So if you could only do one exercise for your glutes, and assuming you can do this one properly and without pain, this is the one to do, the hip thrust. And you can look up Brett Contreras, the glute guy, who's got a lot of good information about that exercise and many of its variations and many others. So next exercise I'm going to show you, the first of 3 standing exercises, is your basic step up. And I don't usually do step ups on a folding chair. I have at times in the past in a pinch. I usually do them on my stairs, but I don't have wouldn't make for a good camera angle over there. So I'm just going to use this. But a lot of people are familiar with the step ups. Again, the mind to muscle connection here is important. Trying to really focus on that glute of that driving leg. And so see a lot of people, they do their step ups so fast that it's kind of a plyometrics exercise. And when you're trying to target your glutes specifically, you want to do it a little more slowly, a little more controlled, and think about that contraction that's happening. And so I almost imagine, I like to tell my clients to imagine pulling yourself up with that leg until you get to the top, and then slowly lower yourself down. That eccentric contraction is really important. And so what may help you here is just a slight lean forward. So when you get set up in front of your box or your chair or your stairs or whatever you have, just lean forward a little bit and find that position, that alignment that allows you to contract that glute to its full capacity. You can come up, you can hold on to something if you need to, you can put your foot down at the top, or you can remain balancing. And the other most important part of the exercise is making sure that you lower down slowly and under control. And so that's your basic step up. Another great exercise for your glutes. Lots of ways to make it harder. Adding load is the simplest way. You can hold a pair of dumbbells, or I've seen people do it with a barbell racked. I don't usually like doing it that way because you're going up higher, and if you do get really fatigued and trip, you've got a barbell that might come crashing down, and it'd be easier to have dumbbells. But I'm getting off topic. So next exercise is your basic lunge, and I have a video on this too. I've got a lot of videos out there, huh? So the main thing when you're doing lunges for a glute focus is the distance that you're lunging. You want to lunge nice and far, and so that you're going to feel that stretch on the front of your rear hip most likely. But you want to step as far as you can comfortably, maintaining a midfoot balance with that front leg and feeling that rear glute. I guess this is the forward glute. I mean, it is behind you, but you're going to feel that glute in the back contracting. And so when we do like really shallow lunges, like almost like a split squat is often called, it's a very quad dominant exercise. And so when you increase the distance that you're lunging, it gets those glutes involved. And so that's what you want to do, whether you're doing forward lunges where you're standing and you're lunging forward, or if you're doing reverse lunges and you're stepping back behind you. So that's your lunge. Pretty much every lunge exercise, if you're doing it properly, is going to target your glutes. But my preference for focusing on the glutes is a standing, stepping forward lunge like that. Okay, last exercise that I'm going to show you today is a single leg deadlift, stiff-legged deadlift or Romanian deadlift, and there's different views on the technique involved in each one of those. I kind of consider them, for the bodyweight version, I kind of consider them the same. So you're going to get set up on one leg and keeping your knee just very slightly flexed, not locked out, but very slightly, like a slight bend in it. You're going to just hinge forward at that hip, keeping and raising that rear leg in the back, and come down as far as you can, and then back up. And just repeat. So hinge forward at this hip. If you put your finger here right in the middle of your hip flexor muscles, it'll kind of swallow your finger into your hip muscles. And the main things here, you're making sure that you have good balance, midfoot balance on this foot. You're maintaining a lengthened spine so you're not rounding over, and you're going as far down as you can maintain those things. And you'll probably feel some stretching going on while you're doing this if you haven't practiced it before. But it's another really great glute exercise. Really good, especially when you are thinking about contracting your glutes, that mind-muscle connection. So that's all I'm going to say about these glute exercises. I just wanted to move quickly and demonstrate them all for you. Thank you very much for your time. And if this was helpful, please let me know. If it wasn't, please let me know. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and take care.